What's going on, everybody? Just want to do a video update with contest prep, how it's going. So I'm 11 weeks in and my current macro is at 200 grams of carb, 100 grams of fat, 250 grams of protein. So last time I did a check-in was I did 300 grams of protein. So it's gradually come down these last few weeks just to have ongoing progress on my physique and the scale. So I am down from 193.5 pounds down to 179.2 pounds. And so that's down 14.3 pounds. Things are moving in the right direction. Slow and steady wins the race. This is why I started way early, 36, 34, and 32 weeks out, just so that I didn't have to do things dramatically or really aggressive during this prep. My main focus was I took 18 months away from the stage. I'm not going to ruin it by jumping the gun and being super aggressive with a short prep. So everything is going according to plan. I'm working with Roger and Allie Baker at Rab Fitness. Amazing coaches, amazing people, and they're developing my training program. So I've been using DUP, daily undulating periodization. So basically you're taking different amounts of volume and frequency, intensity. You're matching all these things up week to week depending on where I'm at and where I'm progressing with my physique, with my strength, my recovery. So all these things play into how you adjust your programming, and it's been working like a charm so far. And knowing that I only have been doing 4 sessions of cardio a week, still making progress with my physique and making progress with the scale. Very excited about that. I'm not gonna lie though, those 10-minute sessions of HIIT is freaking grueling. It is really hard. I have been sticking with battle ropes, sled pushing. I've been doing the Jacob's ladder. So I've been doing a lot of variety this prep, rather than just sticking to 1 or 2 particular cardio machines, which I absolutely hate. So cardio goes by super quick when you're trying to max out and give it your all every time you do a interval. And I tell this to people that aren't familiar with cardio, like how to perform HIIT, and then also like my clients. And I tell them, if you are not maxed out or just like completely destroyed or dominated by the end of your HIIT, you've done it wrong. I'm not saying that you should be like, at the point where you're gonna have injury, but if you are not pushing your body, it's kind of a waste of time trying to do HIIT if you're not gonna give it your all. For right now, the way that I'm centering my nutrition, since I only have 200 grams of carbs, that's really not much room to be like, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna have like my ice cream, I'm gonna have my pizza and all this stuff. There's really not much I can fit in. I have to be super creative, and during my training days, I need to be able to have enough carbs before I go and train, even during my training, and then post-workout. So I center my carbs around my training days. And when I have a rest day, yeah, I can be a little bit more flexible with how I divvy up my carbs, but I am really kind of in this groove of like, I need to have about 50 to 60 grams of carbs. I need about 50 grams of protein before I go work out. Even though I'm training in the afternoons and still have fuel in the tank from the previous meals, I need to have that. It feels so much better because before I was training early in the morning at 3 a.m. and I wasn't getting anything in. I barely had like oatmeal and a protein shake, and I was like dying when I was doing my leading up to my powerlifting meet. Training in the afternoons has changed the game for me when it comes down to this, and I just know that my performance would be shot to crap if I wasn't changed over to an afternoon schedule. So I'm glad that blessing in disguise of getting a new job, of course, but also my scheduling has definitely played a role with how I'm performing in the gym and upkeeping my strength for the most part during prep. Knowing that you can keep your strength alive, obviously it's going to dip as you get lower in body fat, as you start losing more weight, as the nutrition, as your macros come down. But if you can keep that at bay as much as possible, you know that you're retaining as much muscle as possible while you're in the process. When you have to be super aggressive with a prep, you're putting yourself at risk for losing a lot of muscle while you're trying to make progress and try to make up ground for a short prep. So things are moving in the right direction. There's really no big challenges around my training and my nutrition. Just some odd things like hunger. People ask, oh, are you hungry? I'm like, well, I'm eating 2,700 calories. I was eating roughly 3,400 to 3,500 calories before starting prep. So yeah, I get hungry, but I'm not to the point where I'm just looking forward to my next meal. I'm not at that point. If my schedule just gets pushed a little bit with my eating, then yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit more hungry. But for the most part, I'm staying relatively full, and I believe it's because my 100 grams of fat is keeping me full. The other thing is performance in the gym. Has that really come down quite a bit? To be honest with you, it really hasn't, other than this past week was a little bit more challenging, and it's just because of the change up in workouts, where I'm not doing what I've been doing with the formatting. It got changed to compound movements, 2 days of the beginning of the week, and then one more at the end of the week. So I'm doing 3 main lift days and some accessory works during those times, but still, like, it's really taxing in the body. But I just have to get adjusted to it and adapt to it. I've been really focusing more on my mobility, my dynamic warm-ups, foam rolling, even on my rest days, just because I feel like it's to the point where if I don't do those, I know it's going to impact my recovery, and it's going to impact my ability to perform, just my daily functions throughout the day. I'm a lot more active on my job now, so I'm actually demonstrating exercises for patients and creating programs around what they have accessible. So I have to show them what they can be doing while they're in a fat loss phase in a clinical setting, being under the guidelines of a doctor, a physician. So that's adding to my my NEAT, my non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So I know that as I get deeper into prep, I might be a little bit more sluggish in my role, but for right now, everything is going really well. Really no complaints. It's just about staying consistent. When you have hard days in the gym, hard days with hunger or nutrition, you got to figure out the reasons why you stepped into prep. Your mindset has to be stronger than your body, because that's what's going to push you forward when you have those grueling days, when you have those slower days, when your weight goes and plateaus. You're not supposed to just get frustrated with it. You make the adjustment and you move on. And so mindset is a big thing when it comes down to a contest prep. So I'm really glad that I took these 18 months away to not only build up my physique, but to build up my mindset. And I'm in a better place than I ever have been with any previous prep. And so it's just good to see now that these 18 months are paying off right now, because I am noticing some really good progress with my physique as the body fat comes down. So stay tuned, but if there's any questions, by all means leave them at the bottom in the comments, and I'll go ahead and answer to them on the next video. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.